It has been announced that the federal government will from Wednesday evacuate about 2,000 Nigerians who had fled the war in Ukraine to neighboring countries. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyeama, disclosed this in an interview on Monday, revealed that the president had approved funds for the airlines to evacuate Nigerians. With Ukraine still at war with Russians and a no-fly zone active across the country, the evacuation is expected to occur from neighboring countries. It could be recalled that after some heated exchanges, the tension between Russia and Ukraine snowballed into a full-blown crisis as President Putin of Russia ordered his troops into Ukraine after declaring support for breakaway region of Donetsk and Luhansk. We at the Core Blog are right on the street of Lagos to feel the pulse of Lagosians concerning this. Please come with us.
Letting the black girl go. They're not letting the black girl go. The black girl go. They're pushing her. They're not letting her go. They're not letting her go. Is it right?
We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We don't have arms.
It becomes a little difficult to say a specific factor is the cause of the crisis. This crisis has been in existence before I was born. I have read over time in history about the crisis. And so I think in my own knowledge space, I think it's a mind game. It's a fight for ego. It's a fight to show that I am in charge. It's a fight of war powers. It's a fight between individuals that want to show that, yes, I control the principalities around the world. So believe me, the cause can range from economic factors, selfish interests, personal ego, but these things have been in existence before we were born. And so it will continue to exist. But then the cause cannot be limited to those factors. But there are factors me alone cannot say has been existing, but they are there.
Before we talk about intent, it's sad that Ukraine and Russia right now are at war. These used to be two lovable brothers when they were Soviet Union, and since the breakaway, it looks like one party is beginning to have an edge over the other. No disrespect to Russia, they possess at least 70% of what the world enjoys at the moment, gas and petroleum and whatever. And the end result is what the world is faced with. Now, on the other hand, I think it's fear of the unknown. The Russians, led by Vladimir Putin, are scared that Ukraine, rather NATO, will get to Russia through Ukraine because they share the same border. So the fear of not allowing NATO entrance into Russia is the reason why Russia feels, oh, so you don't become an enemy to our country, then we have to repel any opportunity that has to do with NATO.
I think in my own opinion, it's just that Russia is trying to show political power. You know, it's politicking, you understand? And don't forget that Ukraine was like under Russia previously or before now. So I think they are trying to harness, you understand, to gain more political powers, to become more or a superpower, contesting with maybe America, United States of America.
I believe the crisis between Russia and Ukraine is purely political. It's a political, how can I call it, political fighting between the Russian and the Russian and the other Ukraine.
Well, it is very unfortunate that Russia will start this kind of war at this period in time. Their fears are unfounded. And the fact that US has done those kind of things they are trying to do does not justify doing a wrong thing. A wrong thing is a wrong thing. Bad thing is bad thing. Killing people is killing people. No matter the kind of war that has occurred in this world, at the end of the war, people will sit down and talk and resolve the issue. So I believe they should have found means of resolving the issue instead of killing innocent people.
It's just that Russia, they are greedy people. You know, there's nothing in this world. You know, we are not taking anything to heaven apart from our only life or the spirit inside us. You know, what they are doing to Ukraine, everybody, all the nation condemn it. You know, without being told, you and I, we know. Do you understand? But I don't know, you know, what both of them have, you know, that's causing the problem.
But on the other hand, you have to consider, people before you take actions. You have to think twice because innocent soul will go.
Okay, so I've read a lot about the government's effort, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Onyeama, is doing extremely well. The truth is, it is not just Nigeria that has citizens trapped in Russia or Ukraine or in that axis. Today, I heard the minister saying that Nigeria has made plans with Air Peace and Max Air to evacuate 2,000 Nigerians. I'm also aware that they are getting in touch with our ambassadors across the neighboring countries. Poland, Latvia, Belarus, Georgia. They are reaching out to them on how Nigerians can have easy passage. These things are not tea party. Crossing from a country to another is not a tea party. It is not me from here going to Ibadan that is easy to cross. There are process and procedures to cross over countries. And so it doesn't just come in a day. Yes, I agree that this crisis has been existing before now. However, the Nigerian government cannot force individuals to come back. I have two friends currently in Ukraine studying. One particularly told me he's not leaving Ukraine. Not even crossing to Poland or crossing to the neighboring countries. He said he's not leaving. So that means if plane is open, free to bring him back, he doesn't want to leave. The scenario is a different topic entirely. Some want to even die in Ukraine and come and die home. So it's a different topic for another day. But I must say that the Nigerian government is making efforts. But let me charge them here that they can move faster. A second spent on waiting is a signal to losing more lives. And so I personally commend the federal government led by President Buhari. I'm now saying at this point in time that we need to do more. I am telling you categorically that we have almost or over 8,000 Nigerians in Ukraine. So if you are evacuating 2,000, what is the fate of the remaining 6,000? What are the efforts in place? He didn't tell us the effort in place for the remaining 6,000. So I want to say that we can do more. We can increase the numbers. We can reach out more so that we have a country that is more concerned about the lives of their citizens. So I encourage the government to please sustain the effort of that 2,000, then hasten plans to increase the number of people they will evacuate from the war zone. The earlier, the better.
Like it or not, need to understand one thing. Now, the interest of Nigerians in Ukraine, whether I would like it or not as well, Nigerians will be skeptical and scared of returning home. Why? Because you never can tell what they will be coming to face. Now, an example is Nigerians that have been evacuated from Libya. What has the government been able to do to engage them? That's one thing. Students are in Ukraine studying. Nigerians are doing well in their various walks of life in Ukraine. Now, if they leave Ukraine and everything they have, there's no guarantee that they would be allowed back into Ukraine. So the fear of losing some of their valuables, some of their investments, and every other thing in there is the reason why they will be scared of returning back to the country. Now, on the part of the government, we should not always leave it too little, too late before we start taking decisions. I understand that you cannot evacuate every Nigerian, but then if we had a functional airline, and I repeat, airline. When I talk about airline, the Nigerian Airways, is it working? No. Even the presidency travels without the usual and of course the normal Nigerian registered airways. Now, to that effect, you cannot evacuate 5,600 Nigerians from Ukraine down to Nigeria just within a twinkle of an eye. It will go in batches. Now, how ready and how prepared is the government of Nigeria? And how quick have they taken that decision to evacuate Nigerians? Because the lives and properties of these guys are at risk right there in Ukraine. Whether I would like it or not, there's still some level of racism amongst the Ukrainians, even in the midst of this crisis. The Ukrainians feel, oh, let's face our own. You guys, you blacks, you face your own. And in the midst of crisis, you don't employ that. And that's why I feel, on the part of the government, they've really done next to nothing. I am sorry to use that word because they've not been proactive enough. The Nigerian government should liaise, because as it stands now, Zelensky is not in his right a friend of mine, and you don't expect him to start saying, oh, we'll assist you doing this in evacuating Nigerians. Vladimir Putin can only assure you of the safety of Nigerians, but he cannot tell you the number of Nigerians that will be affected. So Geoffrey Onyeama Nigerian Diaspora Commissioner talking about Abike Darabiri, and the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria must understand that every Nigerian life that will be lost, that is lost in the fight involving Ukraine and Russia, would affect the country whether we like it or not. So the earlier we begin to understand that as a country, as a people, the better for us.
Our government is very slow to this rescuing of our citizens. The whole saga have been hearing for most of the nations all around that you go and pick your people, they are very slow to this response. It shouldn't have caught us unaware like this. I believe government should be able to stand up and make sure that they do whatever they want to do in time before it is too late.
There is nothing more. They are stranded. It is the responsibility of the government, federal government of Nigeria, to take care of that, to be in charge of that. We know it's a war, or going to be a war. So those are the responsibility, you understand, of any government, to take charge of it immediately.
True, let me not lie to you. They are not effective enough.
As far as Nigerian government is concerned, from what we have read, even a lot of people have voluntarily offered Nigerian citizens in Ukraine places to stay that is relatively safe. So the Abike Darabiri has been on the air directing people and all that. So I believe we are doing our best, and I pray that our citizens over there will be safe.
There you have it, the unfiltered opinion of Lagosians concerning the current crisis between Ukraine and Russia. Do feel free to drop your comments in the comment section. Follow us across all of our social media platforms, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I am Joy Udo. Thank you.